In March 2025, the mysterious sphere of Buga was sighted flying over the skies of Colombia. Only months later, in April, this information was disclosed to the public, while scientists carried out several experiments to try to explain the mysterious object. Now, some results of these experiments have been released. However, each answer raises a new question. In today's video, you will check out what scientists have discovered so far about this mysterious sphere. To date, the investigations raise many doubts, and it is increasingly believed that the sphere is not an object of this world, or at least it is different from everything we know. Going back to the beginning, the sphere was sighted for the first time flying over the small town of Buga. Despite the local government not commenting, several residents reported seeing it in the skies. It was filmed by at least 2 local residents, and these recordings constitute important evidence about the veracity of the sphere. David Villis is one of the residents who sighted the mysterious object, and he is responsible for recovering it. According to his claims, the Colombian government requested that he hand over the sphere to them. But fearing that the government would simply make the object disappear, he refused. Instead, he handed it over to Jamie Mon, the famous journalist and ufologist who took the sphere to Mexico to analyze it, along with a team of researchers. As the research was carried out, several strange things were observed. To begin with, the sphere does not contain any type of welds or joints, something outside the standard of human constructions. Regarding this, the radiologist Luis Velasquez, one of those involved in the research, went so far as to say that it is of artificial origin, as it shows no evidence of welding and its internal structure is composed of high-density elements. The CT scanner laboratory in Mexico was responsible for analyzing the interior of the sphere. The images revealed that it was not empty. On the contrary, 16 microspheres were found all around the nucleus in a standardized manner. So standardized that it is almost as if their position was there for a purpose. Scientists are calling these spheres chips, and they agree that they were placed inside the sphere before it was sealed. According to what has been observed, the internal device has an electromagnetic nature, which could be responsible for making the sphere levitate. Through the analyses, it was also possible to identify the composition of the sphere. The sphere is composed of 95% aluminum, with the addition of iron, zinc, and manganese. In addition, it was also found that the outer layer is 2 centimeters thick, which makes it extremely resistant. The resistance is so high that it would even be able to withstand the strong pressures at the bottom of the oceans. What an object capable of withstanding the depths of the ocean would be doing in the skies of Colombia is a mystery in itself. But this is far from being the only mystery behind this sphere. Even after proving that the sphere had a composition of 95% aluminum, scientists noticed something strange. When analyzing the hardness of the sphere, they proved that it represents a value of 300 Hb, which is twice the value of the aluminum used in the aerospace industry. Curiously, when a high-powered magnet was applied to the sphere, its hardness dropped drastically, something never seen before in common aluminum. Regarding temperature, scientists discovered that the sphere did not have the same ambient temperature. On the contrary, the measurements showed that even in environments with controlled temperature, the object presented constant temperatures. The variations reached up to 9 Celsius. Abrupt changes in hardness and temperature are not properties of aluminum as we know it. The chemical engineer David Avila Rondon, one of those responsible for analyzing the sphere, stated that the observed behavior is incompatible with any other material studied so far. The material capable of altering its density and temperature in such a way does not correspond to anything we know. Complementing the analyses carried out, detectors identified continuous emissions of electromagnetic fields. These emissions caused visible and audible reactions in the sphere, this being another indication of internal activity that conventional science could not explain. However, to further increase the mystery, at some moments, the sphere stopped emitting these frequencies only to return them later. Leaving scientists without an explanation, could this be an indication that someone is remotely activating the sphere? For the Spanish researcher Ignacio Urjo, the sphere appears to possess an internal system that is still active. The tomography scans indicate that the sphere is not only very technologically advanced, but that to some extent it is still active. Experts say it is too early to state definitively that this is an object from another planet. At the same time, they also state that these analyzed behaviors do not match any currently known technology. Jamie Malson, the person in possession of the sphere, says that all his research is duly documented, recorded, and made available not only to the public, but also to the scientific community itself. Indeed, this is something that the responsible researchers have been requesting. For the international scientific community to redirect its attention to the Buga Sphere, the objective is to build a solid base of scientific evidence through this multidisciplinary and international collaboration. Despite the research still being carried out and only recently having been disclosed, we may be facing one of the greatest ufological and intriguing discoveries of the year. This request from the researchers for other scientists to redirect their focus to the sphere is an indication that they want to prove once and for all the origin of this mysterious object. And you, do you venture any guess as to what this sphere is? Be sure to comment on what you think about it.